Hi, my name is Anjani Segrist, and today I'm reading the astrology chart of Tupac. So the things you see here highlighted in orange are things that cannot be determined because the birth time of Tupac is not documented and therefore unknown. If you happen to know of the time, please email me and send me any documentation that you have for that. I would love to get a more accurate picture of this chart. So when I intuitively asked for a time, I got 7:08. So I typed that in and checked out 7:08 a.m. and that didn't look accurate to my impression and understanding of Tupac. So I put it for 7:08 p.m. and drew this up, and it actually feels decently accurate, but I'm not going to read as if it were because I don't know for sure. So the things highlighted in pink are things that will not have changed within the day. The sun and moon would have moved slightly in the degrees, but we can be pretty sure that these things are accurate. Everything else, the sun and moon would have moved a little bit, but the rest of the things will be for sure. So we start off by, first of all, I want to just give thanks for being able to read this and call in sacred space, asking that any information that wants to come through to benefit us, humanity. Tupac has really influenced a lot of people's lives and taught us a lot. So giving gratitude and thanks for that also. And we'll start off here by looking at the moon position. So the moon is definitely in the sign of Aries on the day Tupac was born. And the moon was definitely conjunct with Chiron. So with Chiron, we go with a 10-degree orb, and definitely the moon would have been near Chiron. So the moon in Aries basically says that Tupac's main skill set that he was born with, so skills that he had just by virtue of being born, coming into this lifetime, would be that of the warrior. So Aries is a fierce protector of the tribe, not just what it is involved in protecting, but humanity overall. Aries is going to fight the good battle and be fierce. And with Chiron right there, it says that Chiron is known as the wounded healer or an alchemist. The way I like to think about him as an alchemist. So anytime there's Chiron next to the moon, it says that there two things that I'm thinking of. One is that there potentially is a lot of, the things that we think about: abandonment, betrayal, fear, self-doubt, lacking confidence, just lack in general, are associated with Chiron, and things that we will be faced with and having to overcome in life, or not overcome them and drown in those feelings that Chiron, or the wounds of life, can bring up. Not Chiron, but the wounds of life. So there's that, the lineage. The next thing we would normally look at would be the rising sign, looking at what was this person's main lessons and learning. What was he rising into? And that we cannot know for certain. But with the time that I have here, we could see that possibly it would be Sagittarius. If it were Sagittarius, we would say that this person was going for evolution, expansion of consciousness, knowledge. The main purpose of somebody with a Sagittarius rising is to develop and expand their own consciousness so that the rest of the world is also expanding and growing in knowledge. Because, you know, the person wants to expand in their own consciousness. It's like the one green tree helps the whole forest be green. So I won't spend too much time on that since we don't know for sure if that was the rising. The next thing we look at is inner feminine, inner masculine, and these things we can know for sure. So for Tupac, his inner masculine would be, the way my teacher describes this, is the sword he carries. The form of the god that Tupac was representing in his masculine body. We have Mars definitely in the sign of Aquarius. So Mars in Aquarius is going to be, oh, and the other thing is the North Node is right next to his Mars. For sure, Mars and the North Node are together, which would say that part of his destiny, because the North Node describes a destiny point, part of his destiny point would be to be bringing through his own masculine essence, his form of the God, which is in Aquarius. So Mars in Aquarius would be, oh, you know, that's Nikola Tesla. That's I like to mention Nikola Tesla and Steve Jobs because they're two of my favorite Aquarian archetypes that we can relate to in the modern time. So they are getting things from the ethereal, you know, getting things from the cosmic consciousness and bringing it down into something that we can understand, that we can use. So these are basically genius people, you know. So his form of the masculine is that genius that is able to, the word is sort of squeeze out the juice of something and bring us the nectar, you know, bring us just that bowl of potent distilled essence. So from the masculine, and so the North Node is there, so that just is really emphasizing that his destiny, part of what he was going toward in this lifetime was innovation. And you know, giving us the distillation of something huge, you know, the cosmic conscious nectar. And then we'll look at his inner feminine. So for a man, the feminine essence shows us what they're most attracted to in a woman, what they most wish to connect with in another. So also really what we want to see here is that your inner feminine for a man, that you're able to own that, and instead of just being attracted to that, that you're able to realize that's you. And I feel like by looking at this, Tupac really was embracing his inner feminine. So he's got Venus in the sign of Gemini. And Venus in Gemini would say that the type of, the form of the goddess that he most wished to connect with was of the air realm. And I actually looked up, when I was doing a little research on Tupac today, I found the name of a woman who he was engaged with, and had a peek at her chart, and she actually has a grand air trine, which would say that the air realm was her sort of specialty. Her special gift was that of air. So with Venus in Gemini, we're seeing his form of the feminine being the trickster, you know, very playful, jovial, everything that you can think of revolving around air. So the next thing we'll see here is the South Node in Leo. And we can also see here in Gemini, Mercury and the Sun. So that's about all that I'll say for for this, what I have here. If you have any questions or anything you would like to add, I would love to hear anything you have to say.